di siya lagtok. Daw subuan lang na siya.
Mas gusto ko pa mamatay na ako.
Ano ginagawa mo dito? You want to see the freak?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining FDCP's own little way of honoring our departed Philippine cinema greats. This is the final segment of Eternal Icons, tribute to the legends of Philippine cinema. I'm Isa Litton. Let's all walk down memory lane and together relive the greatness of our cinema icons through this PPP4 special event. The ongoing Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino promotes not only new titles, but old great films, as well as featuring our screen legends. There's so much to learn from the icons of Philippine cinema, not only from their films, but also from their commitment to the industry. And tonight, for the final part, we are honoring two extraordinary actors who showed what it's like to be exceptional in their craft. They have touched our hearts and changed our lives with their performances, as well as the messages ingrained in their films. Ladies and gentlemen, first, Dolphy is the undisputed comedy king of Philippine cinema, who has brought countless joy and laughter to numerous generations. His sheer dedication to his craft and love for the industry propelled him to take on challenging roles and produce films that have made a mark and brought about insurmountable achievements. And in the lifetime of Philippine cinema, we rarely come across an actor who masterfully portrays a wide range of roles in all possible genres and is an accomplished director at that. The name Eddie Garcia alone indicates his incredible legacy. Once again, when it comes to an actor who masterfully portrays a wide range of roles in all possible genres, he is also an accomplished director. The name, Eddie Garcia, indicates his incredible legacy. These two kings have done so much for the industry, and we are blessed to have been witnesses to their works. So, to begin tonight, comedy in the Philippines will never be the same without Dolphy, or Rodolfo Vera Quizon Sr. The king of comedy was an artist and a filmmaker whose versatility remains unparalleled. As an award-winning actor, Dolphy was so courageous in taking risks with his remarkable career that has insurmountable achievements. So, how was Dolphy as a co-actor? Let's watch some testimonials on the comedy king from some of his colleagues.
Hindi na po ako maglilikot, tay.
Hindi naman ikaw sinisigawan ko eh.
Sino ho?
Ang ninong Rodrigo mo dahil inuubos na yung cutics ko. Tsaka, kung gusto mo maglaro ka na lang sa mga bata, ha?
Sino may script nito? Nga ako hihingi ng sorry sa kanya. Sinong may pakana nito? Ay, hindi ako
Beer, bigyan mo akong beer. Nang malasing ako. Dali mo.
Ba't yun lang? Ba't di ka kumain? Ang dami naman makakain eh.
Ay, mami, wala pa akong gana.
I was 17 years old. I was studying at naghunt sila ng mga angels kasi uso noon yung Charlie's Angels. So, 3 kaming models na nakuha doon po, si Liz Alindogan at si Ana Marie Gutierrez.
Pag siya na ka-eksena ko, hindi ko na kailangan ng motivation kasi madadala ka talaga. Talagang most of the time pag nag-cut na kami dun sa eksena, talagang yayakapin ko siya eh. Talagang airpa talaga.
My favorite scene with the movie was yung Tito Dolphy was he had to parang tandaan niya akong laging inaaway, laging niya akong pinapagalitan para mapalayo yung loob ko sa kanya. Tapos biglang pagtalikod niya ng gano'n, biglang lumuluha siya kasi ang sakit-sakit ng ginawa niya. So that was really one scene that I'll never forget. Galing, pag komedyante talaga nagpaiyak, mas magaling. Dolphy yung katrabaho ko eh. Kumbaga bihirang-bihira magkamali yan.
During Home Along the Riles, I was only 16 and because of work, I didn't see much of my dad, my real dad.
Kalahin mo ba namang ikinahihiya nila ako dahil ako raw isang hamak na magtataho lamang? Eh pinalaki ko sila dahil sa taho.
Ang mga comfort woman, pinatihaya nila kami, pinagbali-baliktad. Bugbog na bugbog kami, pati dito.
Pag off-cam, he's very serious. He will teach you about life.
Pero mabait si Tito Dolphy, he's gonna make you comfortable.
Saka pag dinner break, talagang naghahanap yan, hinahanap niya lahat.
Ang pagsit pala ng mukhang hito na yun.
Ano ka ba? Hindi. Sabi niya, gwapo daw kayo. Good.
O sige, para hindi palagi ito yung ulam natin. Sana kamukha ako si Michael Jackson. Pero ayoko bakla.
Maribel, chuchu baba. Chuchu bichu.
Oo na. Bilis. Please, ha?
Oh, naging vampira! May kita bang ganon?
Naku, hindi ho.
Hindi ba yun?
Please.
What can I say about Tito Dolphy? He's a great man, a great father. To me, siya yung naging second father ko.
He was a friend, a father, everything. Ako, actor, my ninong, my inspiration.
Mahal na mahal ko talaga yun. I miss him nga eh.
Salamat sa pagkakataon na dito ako ngayon dahil sa'yo. Salamat talaga sa lahat ng natulungan mong tao, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, napasaya mo sa buong mundo.
2019, I played the role of a father for I'm Millennia L, directed by Boy Quezon. And my hugot of acting from that is what I've learned from observing how Tito Dolphy was to me. And so this is my chance to thank Tito Dolphy for that.
Dami kong natutunan sa iyo, Tito Dolphs. Maraming salamat that I was privileged to work with you for so many years. Ikaw ang aming nag-iisang ama sa comedy.
Dolphy will always be remembered.
I miss you. I love you, Dad.
Joining us to talk about the wondrous life and colorful career of Dolphy are actress, writer, and director Bibeth Ortesa and Dolphy's sons, actors and filmmakers Epi Quezon and Eric Quezon. Let's welcome them, everyone. Such a touching tribute. It's really what this special is all about. And even more through that, it's time to talk and chat. There they are. Hi, good evening, Bibeth, Eric, Epi. Hello, such a pleasure to be with you. How's everybody? Hello. We're all among friends. Okay, like I said, family will go after. So shall we start? Ladies first for this first segment. Bibeth, as the biographer of Dolphy, hindi ko ito narating mag-isa. What compelling story about the comedy king, not necessarily in the book, can you share with us? Bibeth?
I remember when the first day of our interview, I heard him talk that way in the Tagalog that was spoken many years ago. And right away, I knew I had to preserve that tone. I could not write about the man in the third person. I had to project him as if he was really talking because his language was so beautiful. Sabi ko, hindi na ito maririnig uli, itong narration na ito. I have to protect it. And that's why the book came out like that. Because we wanted him to really talk, beginning from the Manila that he knew to all the way to the very end. It was really him. His personality was
parang
so strong.
kinikwentuhan niya. Yeah, kinikwentuhan niya kung sino yung nagbabasa. Ganon.
Yeah. And then of course every night, because we were the interviews were like about 2 or 3 times a week, every afternoon in his house. And then I would go there, and then when I'd get there, there would be food prepared for me while he would be praying before we started the interview. And it took him so long to pray. And then so one afternoon I asked him, Tito Dolph, ba't ang tagal mo magdasal? And then he said, sa dami ba naman ng anak kong pinoproblema ko, paano naman akong hindi magdadasal ng ganong katagal? So it was really funny. But the joy, Isa, of each interview was he capped it by insisting on taking me out to various restaurants that he would produce. And then,
mahilig kumain.
Yeah. Pagdating namin dun sa restaurant, the food wouldn't just be there. He would put the food on my plate. Kulang-kulang subuan ako. And he had such a connection with the people around him. Kasi he had favorite haunts eh, di ba? Meron siya mga favorite restaurants. No? So we would go there. Kilala siya ng mga waiter, kilala siya ng mga nagsisilbi.
Sino ba naman hindi nakakakilala kay Dolphy din kasi, di ba? Pero
But
yung connection niya, oo.
Yeah, I don't mean yung kilala na dahil artista siya. But they knew his favorite table. They would suggest this special. They would say things like, Ma'am Dolphy, nung huli kayong nagpunta rito, wala itong putahing ito, andito na ho.
Yeah, the familiarity. Oo.
And every night, he would tell whoever was serving us, okay, ito, ipabalot mo para sa kanya. May take home ako. Tapos ito, ipabalot mo para sa akin. Itong natira dito sa mesa, ipabalot mo rin kasi bibigay ko na lang sa kung sino pang gustong kumain. And then he would always say, pero siguruhin mo ha, nalagyan mo ng pangalan kung kanino para kanino yung pagkain at baka naman ang bibigyan kong ginigiliw ko mabigyan ko ng tiray, masampal lang ako. He would bother to relate to the waiter na kung paano he was a wonderful
human
person.
Yeah.
You know, diba, as everybody knows, I had mastectomy in November of 2004. And then, so, at one point, I didn't know pala na pag nagpa-mastectomy ka, the area where they take your breast off would still be swollen. So you have to order the regular size of your false breast form. I didn't know. Pinerno ko lang yung sukat doon sa without putting into consideration the swelling. So while we were doing the interview, hindi na pantay. So Tito Dolphy one night, and then Tito Dolphy just one afternoon tells me, Bibet, isasabihin ako sa'yo, huwag kang magagalit, ha? Alam mo namang, para sa akin, anak na kita. Wala akong mali siya sa'yo. Gusto ko lang malaman mo na ang suso mo hindi pantay. So,
very observant.
Sabi ko talaga, Tito Dolph, alam ko na, nagpabili na ako ng bagong suso. Ang magdadala rito, anak mo rin, si Donna. Si Mado ang nagdala. Remember that, guys? So, kaya ganun yung libro. Kaya ganun na lumabas yung libro. It was a warm, personal retelling of his life. It wasn't because the writer was good. It was because the subject was great. Lahat yun. And the best memories that I will carry up to my deathbed is how his eyes would light up when he would describe what it was like to walk through the early Tondo. The horror in his face when he was talking about the violation of Manila during the World War. His face told it all, and it's an experience na talagang hindi ko makakalimutan. What a great,
diba?
Great man. Yeah.
Wow.
And yun.
Bibeth, simula pa lang yan. Thank you. Thank you, Bibeth. I think this is where it really gets interesting for this particular panel, no? Na everyone, yun na, titulo, funny, comedy king. Beyond the funny is a man. And I love na Bibeth pointed out, prayerful, maalaga, yung connection, kahit sino kausap mo, di ba? Yung connection with waiters, whoever he would serve. Yung paglalagay ng pagkain sa plato mo. And yun nga, talking about Manila in times of war, in times of that. Dito naman tayo sa dalawa niyang anak. Ayan, Epi, Eric, beyond funny muna. Kung si Bibeth na sabi nga yun, prayerful. Pray over na ba kayo ng tatay niyo? I wonder. Speaking of being prayerful, has he prayed with you? Alam niyo naman yun? You know he's a prayerful man? So he prays with you or over you? Who would like to start? Eric,
No.
Epi.
Well, you Epi or me? Okay,
Go
well,
ahead, sige, Eric.
as a kid
Kuya
kasi,
muna, kuya.
yeah, my dad is he's very religious. I mean, and my mom as well is very religious. So I remember when I was a kid, as far as as far back as my memory serves me, this is like I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and we would go to church with him. And of course, at that age, I didn't know how popular he was in the Philippines. So people would always come up to him and say hello to him. And you know what I would do? I would push people. I would push people away and tell them, "Don't touch my dad. Don't touch my dad. Don't touch." Kasi,
Oh, protective.
sa,
Protective ka.
yeah. So ang iniisip ko during the time when I was at a very young age, he would wipe his panyo on like the foot of Jesus Christ or Mary. And then, parang yung mga tao, ganun din sa kanya. So sabi ko, ano bang daddy ko? Diyos ba yung daddy ko? At a very young age.
Wow.
Yun yung iniisip ko.
Yeah.
So parang ganun. So, but I know my dad is he's really religious. He's the type of person who goes to Baclaran. Instead of going on Wednesday, he goes Tuesday night on the eve of Baclaran Day. So, and he's the type also, like, I remember when we were in the States, he was looking for a church because he wanted to pray. So yeah, so I've known my dad as a very religious person. So meron siya talagang ganong factor.
And it's nice that we're bringing that out now. Kasi yun nga, I mean,
Parang,
beyond.
Talagang, yes, part of the reason he's blessed. Yeah.
Yes. That's wonderful, Eric. Thank you. FB, okay, again, it just, Eric's kwento just really cemented what Bibet said about being prayerful. Adding to that, beyond nga comedy, I mean, the comedy is funny and we're gonna get to that. Pero beyond that pa, maalaga, yung connection na kahit sinong kinakausap. Kayo rin naman, actually, ganun.
I'll just add on a little to what Eric was saying. I mean, I think even more than religious, kasi yun na nga, baklaran yan every Tuesday. Tama kayo, it's not Tuesday. I remember one story where the driver tells us that my dad goes to, after the baklaran, he goes, "Can you stop by the temple?" It was a Chinese temple. So he enters, and nagsindi siya ng mga parang, those red things that the Chinese,
Yung parang incense.
Nagtataka yung mga kasama niya, yung driver, sabi niya, Sir Dolphy, anong ginagawa natin dito? Bakit? Anong pinagkaiba nung pinuntahan natin sa ginagawa natin ngayon? Nagdadasal. Pang-inchik po to. Sabi niya, pang-inchik po to. Bakit? May pinagkaiba yung Diyos nila sa Diyos natin? I mean, meron, kumbaga, I guess he believed in oneness. There was, he was religious, yes, but I guess he was more spiritual and he doesn't see the difference between your religion and his. Parang, he was really, he was too open, not just to people with other religions, but he was just open and accepting. He accepts and respects all religions. I mean, everyone, rich or poor, diba? So he was just really an open person and very respectful. I guess for me, I always saw him as not just a father, but he has always been a friend to everyone. So, of course, the fatherly happened when he was probably getting older, having a lot of kids and all that, diba? Becoming a lolo. So the fatherly figure was, of course, beginning to, he was adapting to the role. But I guess he was just really a friend to everyone.
Even how he related nga to Bibet, na parang
and to add to that.
Okay, yes, go Eric, go. Eric?
No, I just want to add that he's the type of person, he's the type of person who goes out of his way. He, instead of like people going up to him, sometimes he's the one who goes up to people and say hello. He's the type who's just gonna like, somebody walks by and he says hello to them. He's the first one. He instigates it. He doesn't wait for people to talk to him or say hello to him. He just like goes out of. I guess that's one of his traits. Is like he just embraces humanity and he just he just wants to be
Face it
normal. He
forward.
just wants to
Yeah.
be. He knows for a fact that he is a but he's bigger than life. But he just wants to be like a regular Joe. And a part of being him, also being religious. I remember this very vividly because I remember during the time when we were in the hospital, and with all these tubes on his body, he still has this. What do you call that? Is that a scapular, or like the thing with the face of Jesus on here and then your back? Is that a scapular?
Scapular, yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot the term. Yeah. So
Suot pa rin niya.
maraming kung ano-ano mga tubang nasa kanya pero suot pa rin niya yun. Hindi niya yun pinapatanggal. So,
Is this known? Do you think this is known about your dad, Vibeth? What do you think? Known to na prayerful si Dolphy? Not quite, no?
What's the biggest thing I think that's known about Dolphy is that he wasn't one to throw his weight around. Hindi siya mayabang.
Hindi
I
sa,
asked
porket
him
ako si ganyan. Oo.
Yeah. I asked him once during the interview. I said, Tito Dolphs, ever bang yumabang ka na ang feeling mo made ka na? And then he said, alam mo, Bibet, sabi niya, kasi gala ako talaga eh. Mahilig ako magbiyahe. So at isang trip ko, una kong trip sa Europe, sabi niya, nagpunta raw siya, nakita raw niya ang Pieta, Michelangelo, sabi niya. Nakatingin ako doon. Naisip ko, artist ba ang tawag sa akin? Ano ang binatbat ko sa harap ng mga trabahong ganito? Paano ako magyayabang? Paano ko ipagmamalaki sa ibang tao na, excuse me, ako si Dolphy, may Michelangelo. And that really, really struck me. Kaya siya walang yabang kasi nakikita niya na merong iba, marami, mas magaling, at tinatanggap niya yon. Kaya ganun ang attitude niya.
Beautiful. Humble. Yan, that's a page we can all learn from, no?
Actually, may sinabi sa akin in relation to that, Bete. Naalala ko yung isang gabi, mayabang ako eh. Parang basta sa dinner kami nila Eric. Ako yung bokas. I think I just won an award and I was just really bragging. And in a table kasi like that, sila Eric parang, sige na, magyabang ka. Minsan pag ganyan na lang yung mga kapatid ko eh, di ba? And I think
let him be.
And I think my dad noticed that. So he goes, tinawag ako, pinaupo ako sa tabi. So I sat down beside him and he goes, alam mo, ang sarap lumipad. Lumipad na rin ako. Ang pinakamahirap dyan, lumanding. Kaya pag feeling mo, lumilipad ka, tumingin ka sa lupa, tingnan mo kung ang paa mo nasa lupa pa. Kasi kung hindi, ipako mo. Alam mo, hindi ko alam kung ano yung sinasabi niya. I was jaded, pero nagmamaneho ako pa uwi. Sabi ko, oh my God, pinagsabihan lang ako ng tatay ko ngayon lang. Parang niya ako sinampal, pero parang niya ako pinagsasampal lang ganyan. At ever since, yun. I always look at my feet, paa sa lupa. Pako mo sa lupa.
Keep you grounded. Ayan, si Eric, ayan daw, pak.
Well, Eric, I'm sure Eric wanted to tell me that. Naunahan lang siya ng tatay ko. No?
Malamang.
Si Eric,
knowing my friend Eric, he wanted to tell you off na Epic.
Yabang mo ha. Si Eric lang may physical. Yabang mo ha.
Has it? I wonder though. Has it ever come from your dad?
I'm just
Has it ever come from your dad? Did he tell you, uy, ang galing nyo? You know, father to son. I know he keeps you grounded. Thank you for that story. But has he also made you fly? Yung, ang galing mo, anak. Has he given you that too? Epi?
He said that to me not in that kind of words, but he saw, I remember he saw radio with me for the premiere, when I played the serial killer and all that. And actually, my dad is not the type who would go with you to your special events like screenings and graduations and all that because ang feeling niya, kinukuha niya yung limelight sa'yo. And he has told probably everyone, but he'll give you an event or two that he will be there, but he's not the type that he will be there always, no? So he went with me for radio, and after the movie, yung ano pala, yung credits pala, he goes, mauna na ako. Kasi, syempre, parang feeling niya, moment ko yung after the film, di ba? Sabi lang niya sa akin, nakatama ka dito. Nasa pool mo dito. Yung that kind of language. Nasa pool mo dito. Hindi galing mo.
Yeah,
pero
you nailed it.
Nasa pool mo. Di ba? So, may mga ganun siya.
Thank you for that, Epi. Eric, ikaw?
Well,
not just for acting, direct.
In my case, yeah, in my case, so many times. But the one that I really, really remember was well, there's two. There's one is that, so when I transferred to Ateneo, so I was of course I was new in school, and so people are asking me, so Tizon, are you related to Dolphy? And whenever I say he's my dad, nobody believes me. So people were calling me anak sa labas, and they were saying, sige nga, prove nga that your Dolphy's your dad. So you know what? I told my dad, you know what? They're calling me anak sa labas. Sabi niya, why? Sabi niya, kasi ganyan-ganyan, they don't believe that you're my dad. And you know what? And then he said, sige, I'll pick you up. You know what he did? He drove his Mr. Slim Mercedes-Benz, went into the driveway of Ateneo, and then I saw him, and I said, then he closed the door. Of course, the guards were nice to him. They made him park in front of the school. And then my dad said, saan mo ko dadalhin? Sige, ikot mo na ako. I toured him around the school. So he was like a Pied Piper. Everybody was following because he was Dolphy. And then after that, I was like the most popular boy in school. So these are little things. And then there was one time I joined this contest. It's called Body Shots, and I was the crowd favorite. People were clapping for me, but I didn't win. So you know what? He went backstage. He went backstage, and I saw him. I said, "Dad, I'm sorry, I didn't win." And then he goes, "No. You won the hearts of the crowd. You're for me, you're the winner." Then he hugged me, and I said, it was an moment with my dad. So, and there are a lot of other things. Like when we did Markova, when we were asked to go to the different festivals, and this is what he said. I remember he said something like, kayo na ni Epi ang pumunta kasi kayo naman yung mas magaling dyan. And I'm like, Dad, of course not. So I'm like, no, but he wanted us to represent the movie because he felt that kayo nang bahala dyan, kayo naman ang ano dyan, kayo naman yung yun, in his words, yun yung sinasabi niya. Kaya ako naman parang, of course, we're very happy to represent the movie in the international film festivals. But yun lang, you can tell that that's how much appreciative he is. He may not be very vocal about it, but he usually tells his friends, if he's proud of you, he'll say to his friends.
There's a different language how he tells you that you nailed it.
Yeah. He's proud of
it. Different language. Yeah. And you're right, Ate Bibet, it's a beautiful language. Kasi mas mararamdaman mo, hindi siya yung typical na ang galing mo.
Yeah.
Ayaw niya ng bobola.
At so,
personal.
When he tells a story about Manila, for instance, he tells it from his POV of that time. Kinakwento niya ang St. Luke's. Ang tawag niya sa St. Luke's, San Lucas. Sabi ko, bakit San Lucas? Talaga namang San Lucas ang tawag doon nung araw. Kayo lang naman ngayon pa St. Luke's pa. He's so a different world. He's so a different world.
And he preserved it through his pakikisama, through his conversations with everybody. Diba? Okay.
Yung mga stories niya. Grabe yung mga stories niya. Alam mo, nung araw, Bibet, ang mga tao, magalang. Alam mo, yung tatay ni Rani po, Fernando Po Sr., naglalakad yun sa Quiapo, hindi iniistorbo ng mga ng mga tao, yun talagang hindi iniistorbo, ginagalang. Hindi kagaya ngayon, pag kumakain ka sa restaurant, magsusubo ka nila ng pagkain, biglang may didikit na mukha sa tabi ng mukha mo, sabay may telepono. Mandolpi, pa-selfie ho. But, wow. Siya iba talaga. I want to take the opportunity to thank Eric for thinking that I could do the job.
Of course.
It was really Eric's trust for me. Can you imagine, Isa? I was in the hospital. My mastectomy was just 3 or 4 days, and my good friend Eric visits me in the hospital. His opening line is, "Hoy, Bet, hindi ka pa pwedeng mamatay. Isusulat mo pa ang siguro ng tatay ko."
Eric,
Yes,
you have
I
a way
said that.
with words. You have a way with words, Eric. I love it.
No. I'm no. Beth and I are like that when we talk to each other. We're like that. But of course, it was my way of talking to her and telling her that, hey, be strong and yeah.
Well, okay, again, this is already nararamdaman talaga natin lahat yung puso na. Let's talk other roles. Director and producer. How was he in business? Director and producer. Who would know best? Epi? No, Eric. Director and producer. How was your dad in those shoes?
Well, I was never really directed by him. Although, I mean, per se, meaning like he was not the director of the movie, but he's the type of person, kasi like, I remember when I was starting, because I'm not a funny person. Well, eventually parang somehow na-evolve naman siya. But,
Epi, hindi daw siya funny.
I can be.
I can be.
But I'm not the type of person you make me stand. You make me stand, and then I'll make the type of person. Yes, and maybe I can be funny. But my dad, like, he tells you what to do. Oh, dapat ganito. He tells you what to say. Yeah, meron siyang ganon. Meron siyang dinadagdag na para maging iba yung ginagawa mo or ganon. As a director, he is comedy and drama is his forte. Kasi he's just a very good actor. And I think if you're a good actor, you can be a good director. Because you know what you want. So, and I think that's what he is. He knows what he wants. So, as a producer, my dad, I think, is a very bad producer. Thank God his movies make money.
I was about to say, strict ba siya sa budget? Yung mga ganon-ganon? No. So he's generous.
No.
He's generous.
He's very generous. He's the type that he's the type like kunwari, like one of the kids need help or he has to like go out of his way to go to see his kids or whoever. He's gonna pack up there's a problem with Epi, kunwari. He will pack up the shooting and say, oh, bukas na to, kailangan ako ng anak ko. He's the type. So he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the expenses. He just wants to have, to create a movie according to how he sees it or according to what he wants. May ganun siya. That's why I said, thank God his movies make money.
Actually, as a producer, actor, artist, actually my dad, every time he's on the set, he's very commanding. I mean, he knows what he wants.
Presence alone. Oo.
Exactly. And he knows what he wants. He knows the timing even before you throw lines. He knows how the meter should be. May metro May metro ang comedy ng daddy ko. And he actually, when he talks to you, talks to the set, talks to the cameraman on that particular metro of the scene. And in the middle of the take, pag mali na yung metro na yon, magka-cut yan. Cut, mali eh.
He'll bring you back.
Hindi ganyan eh.
Oo.
Ulitin natin kasi magtatapos. So he was the type. Even if he was not really directing or producing per se, once he's on set, And once he's, doing a scene that he has created,
Generous.
he's commanding. He knows how the scene should be directed and produced. Put it
I
that
think
way.
ang problem lang yata ng Tito Dolphy as a producer was he was a little too trusting.
Okay.
So,
that sounded loaded.
He tolerates
Tolerate a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. He tolerates everyone. He doesn't see the faults. He doesn't find faults kasi to anyone. He doesn't find faults. That's I think my dad's problem.
Up to his deathbed, he would stash money na bawal na sa humawak ng pera. He would stash money without us knowing under his pants, his boxer shorts, di ba? Sa deathbed niya. So pagtayo niya, tumapon yung pera, ganyan. Pinagalitan siya ni Jaja, ano yan? Bawal na sa humawak ng pera. Because any germ can kill him, di ba? Ano yan? Hehehe, gumanon lang. So namimigay talaga siya.
Namimigay talaga siya. Each time we would go out nga, nung kakain kami sa restaurant, I would always see him, yung kanyang alalay, si Presley, would always give him a sheaf of bills. No? Nilalagay niya sa bulsa niya. Kasi walking from the car to the restaurant, may mga batang hihingi. Bibigyan niya yun. So lagi siyang...
Put it this way, I remember when I was a kid, I remember stashes of money.
Okay.
Na ganun niya para pamigan.
Okay, wait. Okay, sorry guys. I'm being asked to wrap up. So on that wrap-up note, because again, how can you encapsulate a great man in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, especially with the people so close to him like you? So here na lang, Bibeth, in a word, and you have provided the book already. That's why it's a challenge. In one word, how would you encapsulate Dolphy as a cinema legend, as a cinema icon? But for Eric and Epi, my question for you last is, how do you live up to your father's name or legacy? Unahin ko muna si Bibeth, okay? Bibeth, sorry, I gotta cut this. I want to be strict. One word, and you're good at this. So what would it be? Cinema legend, Dolphy.
Greatness personified.
Thank you. And I think, it's just, how could you, diba? So let's get the word out there. And I think a lot would agree. It is greatness. He's a great man. Thank you, Bibeth. Epi, how would you live up to your father's name?
How can I live up? Well, I just have to really be true to my craft, be true to my word, be true to my family, be true to, because he was just true. I mean, he had faults, but down to the end, I mean, when we were putting the book together, he didn't want at first, because he said, I'll just hurt a lot of people, and eventually he goes, no, we'll do it. And then, my father remained true. I mean, he always was just straightforward. This is my truth. Whether you like it or not, this is true.
Thanks.
And probably that's how I...
Thank you. Thank you, Epi. Eric, to live up to his legacy as a cinema icon.
Well, if there's one thing I'll never do is... I will never compare myself to him because I'll fall short in comparison. But I'd like to live by, because when I was a kid, he told me one time that know the difference between good and bad, and if you know the difference between good and bad, you'll never go wrong. So that has stuck in my mind, and I guess in order to just live up to him, it's just I'll try to be a good person as I can. And if there's one thing that I can say, one word I could say about my dad, it's, for me, I consider him my hero. I mean, people are saying that, that whatever. So many things have been said. And no matter what it is, for me, my dad is my hero. So, there.
Thank you so much. Alam mo, bitin ang oras. But Bibeth, Eric, Epi, it's been a pleasure seeing you, chatting with you. And here is truly to your dad, Dolphy. Thank you
Thank
very,
you.
very much. A true Philippine cinema icon. Bye, everybody. Take care, and thank you for sharing. Thank you, thank you. With a stellar career, moving on now, that has spanned 7 decades, from one great to another, Eddie Garcia, popularly known as Manoy, is the most awarded Filipino actor of all time, with more than 46 citations. He's also regarded as among the Philippine cinema kings for being an acclaimed actor, director, whose artistry is simply exemplary, bar none. So, how was Eddie Garcia in the eyes of his peers? We have Arjo Ataide to talk about his fond memories about Tito Eddie Garcia.
Apo, maghiwalay na tayo. Para hindi tayo parehong masakote.
Sige lo, ingat kayo.
Ang Provinciano was my only project, and luckily one of his few last projects na nagawa niya, no? And I was with him for 2 years, almost 2 years, 7 months. Madami ako natutunan. Pag-iisa na yung pagiging professional. Pakikitungo sa mga tao. Pupunta kasi ako ng set na, alam mo yung komportableng damit. Tapos siya, nung una ko siyang nakita, bumaba siya ng kotse. 6 ng umaga, alas 7 ng umaga. Naka-Amerikana siya, lumapit lang ako. Sabi ko, Tito, ba't ka naka-Amerikana? Akala ko in character na, kasi yung character niya din naka-Amerikana. Sabi niya, no, because I've been doing this for years. Because I'm a professional. Tapos napatingin na lang ako sa damit ko. Oh my God. But many more memories with Tito Eddie bilang katrabaho. Basta sobrang dami ko natutunan sa kanya. We had several interesting conversations, especially about the industry before and today. Differences, how it works. But one thing siguro that I would tell you that I would never forget, in terms of bonding kasi, sa isang tent kaming dalawa lang eh. Oreos. Pag nakita ko ng Oreos, naalala ko si Tito Eddie. One time, nasa set kami and it was a bit past midnight. Everyone's trying to stay awake kasi puyat na, no? And I brought out like a pack of Oreos. Tapos sabi niya lang sa akin, what's that? Tapos sabi ko, oh tita, it's Oreos. It's like milk cookies. Trinay niya, and then ever since, kailangan akong, sinisigurado ko na may laman na Oreo yung pangbaon ko sa taping parate. Kasi yun yung parang bonding namin sa set. So, pagdating ng mga gabi, kahit araw-araw pa yan or every other day, kung trip niya, kung kailan niya trip, hihingi sa akin ng Oreo yan. Tapos kakain lang kami, tapos nagkakantuan lang kami sa set. The guy is a living legend. I look up so much to him sa lahat na nagawa niya. Besides the fact that sa lahat na na-accomplish niya, he remains to be such a humble artist. Despite the skill, despite everything, he's remained to be, he's like a grandfather in my eyes. Dahil gano'n niya ako kausapin, gano'n din siya makipag-usap sa akin, you know, and normal. Trabaho lang sa kanya lahat. He respects actors so much for whatever they do, for whoever they are. For as long as they say action, he knows when someone is there in the scene. I don't know if I should be saying this, but he always believed in me. You know, I'm one of those people. He always verbally told me, like, you know, he would always nod and just look at me like, yeah. Or that meant like a good job. He has this famous line. Nakalimutan ko siya word per word, but it's something like, finish what you have to do today so that whatever you have to do tomorrow, parang you could do. Parang something like that. And to me, it just meant like, you know, move. You have to move every day. And to him, ang pagiging artista is isang trabaho lang. Fame is nothing to him. I appreciate him for that because for all reasons, I don't know, for a lot of reasons. There are a lot of things that I wish people knew about him or heard it from himself. Like stories he's told me, lessons he's taught me, experiences he just wanted to share, differentiating today and before and today. I don't know, I'm out of words to explain how he actually is. He's a great man. He's so humble, so kind, so giving, generous, everything. I'm very thankful na isip tong bill of Tito Eddie Garcia. It's because it will get to help not only the artists but the broad staff, everyone else. And this is a memory of him that would last forever in Philippine cinema. I'm very thankful to everyone who made this possible. This bill would always remind us of Tito Eddie. And the person means so much to me. Thank you to everyone who made this possible. Heartbroken, super heartbroken. So I was beyond heartbroken. I have a lot to say, but I'll just say I love you. That's it. He's a legend in a lot of ways. As simple as that. I tell the next generation to keep working because, like what Tito Eddie would do, he would just keep working without expecting anything because fame ain't part of the game. It happened to him not because he wanted it, because he just worked and enjoyed. Never forgot to enjoy every single bit of it up to his last breath.
Joining us tonight now to talk about the late, great Eddie Garcia, we have Ms. Gina Pareño, Mr. Christopher De Leon, Director June Lana, House Deputy Speaker and One Pacman Party List Representative Michael Romero, and Eddie Garcia's granddaughter, Elaine Garcia. Everyone, let's welcome our panel. Hi, good evening po. Good evening po sa inyong lahat. Hi, everybody. Shall I begin with the ladies first? Actually, to our lovely Ms. Gina. One of your great movies, Hintayin sa Langit. Paano niyo po nabuo ang chemistry at samahan ninyong mga characters na si Lisang at Manolo? Paano niyo nagawa yon? Was it easy for you, Ma'am Gina? Madali po bang magka-chemistry pag si Manoy ang katapat nyo?
Madali. Kasi unang-una, ako bilang artista ko, nung sinabi si Eddie Garcia ang makakasama ko, looking forward na kagad ako. At saka, maalaga siya sa kasama niya.
Okay, does that go also for men? Of course, with ladies. Yeah. Sorry, Ms. Gina.
Napaka-professional niyan tao. Napaka-professional niyan tao. Siya yung leading lady kanya, pero yung ingat na gagawin niya sa'yo, aalalayan ka talaga niya ng maigi. At saka, gagalangin mo siya gawa ng magiging isang halimbawa siya sa iyo na ikaw ay umaate, gagalingan mo, napaka-professional. Kaya isang malaking bagay sa akin na makasama ko sa pelikula si Eddie Garcia na kahit paano susubukan ko kung ano aking magagawa para makasabay sa kanya.
Thank you. Thanks for that, Ma'am Gina. Yung nga po, I wonder, ganun din ba sa lalaki? Tanungin naman natin ngayon si Christopher De Leon po. Kayo po, syempre, with Eddie Garcia, gumapang ka sa lusak. Agila, tinimbang ka, ngunit kulang. Kamusta naman pag male co-actor ang kabatuhan? How is it with you, Christopher? I'm sorry, you're on mute. Could we check? Sorry, Christopher, your microphone.
All right, am I?
There.
Am I?
Yes, there you go.
All right, you got it. You got it. Good evening to each and everyone. Isa, good evening to you. Like Tito Eddie is my idol, and he's the perfect actor. He's a professional. He's very meticulous. He does his work really from the heart, and he's just he's just the actor. I think he's the best. He's
You
the
feel the
best.
love for both you and Miss
I
Gina.
love him.
Na feel namin
I love the
yung
guy
mahal.
very much.
Yep, we can feel it. We can hear it in your voices. But moving past actor, director din, syempre, si Eddie Garcia. Sinasamba kita, immortal. Kailan sasabing mahal kita? Paano ba ang mangarap? Magdusa ka. Is there a difference between him as an actor and him as a director? Mas strict ba siya in one role or the other? Christopher.
Yes, he is a perfectionist. He is, when he's an actor, he's a cool guy. He's very relaxed, and but he's still professional. But when he's a director, he's he's a military man kasi before.
Okay.
To be with the military, so he's like strict, precision. You have to be precise, and straight to the point, and very meticulous, especially with the even as an actor, especially when he's directing. He is very meticulous with the costumes, the lines, the props. He is again, I would say he's a perfectionist.
Wow. Okay. Actually, sige, let's now talk to our director who's with us in the panel. Hi, Direct June. Kamusta po? Again, Wakaw, Halel 15, directing the one and only. Kasi we've spoken to Miss Gina, Christopher, na kabatuhan, co-actor. Eh kayo po, di ba, parang, how do you direct an Eddie Garcia? Di ba? Iba pa. Lalo na, yun nga, Eddie Garcia, and how young were you, Direct, when you directed him?
I was well, the first time I directed him was for a TV show. Kasi I was with GMA7 for a long time, and then si Tito Eddie, marami siyang ginawang teleserye kasi sa GMA7. And one of the first projects na dinirect ko was for a soap opera. And of course, I was scared. I mean, directing a legend like Eddie Garcia, I really didn't know paano. I mean, I just really didn't know how to approach him. But you know what? The thing about Tito Eddie, and I guess lahat to sinasabi sa kanya tungkol kay Tito Eddie, is he's a giant. He was a giant, but at the same time, he was also such a gentleman. Yes, and I was so young. I didn't know much really about directing. I was sort of winging it when I was starting, but he really respected my vision, and he listened to me, and he made me feel so comfortable na kahit na, minutes into meeting him and directing him, I felt like we could be friends. Ganun eh. And that's the way he deals with people. Whether you're a production assistant, you're the director, pare-pareho yung trato niya.
You know what? I can relate to that po. Because I was an AD for a student film, and we got him as an actor. And you know what? He was so playful pa. He was like, sige nga, sino continuity nyo? Yung glasses niya, kung saan niya nilalagay.
Yeah.
May notes ako nun para alam ko per scene, per line, nasan tayo, close up na daw, nasan yung glasses ko. Itetest ka niya. And I'm like,
He does that.
He wants you to
be
he on
loves,
your toes.
Yes. Mahilig siya magbiro ng ganyan. Yeah.
That was Isa. That was the reason why I was saying kanina na alam niya lahat yan. His details. He knows the details. Everything. He's really a fine dude. I mean, speaking of like pagka-eksena ka yan, there are often kasi he's like he does mga ad-libs. He would ask the director if I can do this. Siyempre, addition to perfect addition to a scene. Like the one time I did Mahawi Man ang Ulap. No? He was sort of the villain there, and I had a scene with him, and parang we were drinking. He was trying to set me up for something. So what he did was like, nagpabili siya ng ng pusit. Pusit for pulutan. No? And then while we were doing the scene, kinalabit niya ako.
Oh, okay, oh.
Kinalabit. No? Kinalabit niya ako. Sabi niya sa akin, in Eddie Garcia tone, ha? In the Eddie Garcia famous tone, makalabit kita. Hindi ka naman gitara. Sabi niya. Kinalabit niya akong ganon. Hindi ka naman gitara. It's just like mga ad-libs
Pasok na
niya,
pasok
like,
pasok pa rin eh. Oo.
pasok pa rin. No? It's just like mga ad-libs siya, like, buti pa ang posporo, may ulo.
Yes.
There was one time I saw him, I was watching him on TV, and he said like, mga ipis, mga butike, mga kalaro ko sa bilangguan ng mga 10 taon. I mean, who does that?
Yeah, but that's why it's when you watch his
stuff
movies,
like that.
Yeah, when you watch his work, alam mong kahit paano yun nga, it's him, di ba? Miss Gina, hindi ka ba na-throw off pag nagaganyan si Eddie? Miss Gina, hindi ka parang na, anong linya yon? Wala sa script yon. Wala po kayong moment na ganon?
Ay, hindi. Hindi ako na-turn off. Kasi unang-una, si Eddie Garcia, lalo pag sa babae, napakagalang, marirespetuhin mo talaga siya. Tsaka maalaga siya sa kanyang partner, ha? Kaya nga akala ko may part 2 pa yung Hintayan ng Langit. Kaya nung mawala siya, dinamdam ko rin yun. Pero, ganun eh.
Thank you for that, Miss Gina. Direct June, did you ever get notes as a director? Parang director to director. You directed him as an actor. But did you ever have a director to director talk? Tips?
No, but I learned so much from him. Ang dami kasi. I mean, yung pagiging grounded ni Tito Eddie is unbelievable. Like, one time during a shoot for Barber's Tales, delayed kami ng mga 2 hours and I was so embarrassed. And I had to go up to him and tell him na, I'm really sorry Tito Eddie, hindi pa natin makunan yung eksena mo. And you know what he told me? No, don't apologize. I'm being paid to wait. I mean, who does that? What big star is going to tell you something like that? Grabe talaga. As in, yung professionalism niya, ang dami ko talagang natutunan.
Ganun talaga yung direct.
Sobra, tita. May isa pa kaming episode sa Wakaw naman. We shot the movie for 10 straight days. On the 8th day, everybody was tired, really, really tired. But the next day, we had an early call time. And again, I had to talk to Tito Eddie and say, Tito Eddie, I'm really sorry kasi kailangan nating kunan to ng sunrise. I'm sorry, kailangan nating talagang nasa set ng 4 a.m. Really, really sorry. Sabi, no problem. You know what happened? He was there at 3 a.m. Kami yung na-late. The entire production team, we were so tired. Dumating kami ng late, 30 minutes late kami. Talagang nag-apologize ako kay Tito Eddie. Sabi niya, akala ko na nasa ibang set ako eh. I mean, ganun siya kahaba. Grabe.
It makes you feel better pa. Yeah, it makes you feel better pa. Galing. Ang ganda ng kwento na yun.
Yeah.
I'm now gonna shine the spotlight or the screen to syempre. Now, when you talk to family, iba. So I wonder, Miss Elaine, did you ever accompany your lolo, your grandfather in his work? Diba?
No,
Hearing now, diba?
no.
Gina, Christopher, June. These are, diba? From your
Yes.
eyes, Miss Elaine, kamusta po si Eddie Garcia?
Well, alam naman nating lahat, diba? He was an intensely private man. Talagang he wanted his family kept out of the spotlight, and none of the grandchildren followed his steps. The only one actually who followed his steps was my father, yung junior, but he passed away very, very young. He passed away at 21 years old.
I'm sorry.
And he was, but he was actually on his way to being introduced as a young action star. But he passed away. So siya lang yung talagang sumunod sa passion ni Lolo. And none of the grandchildren ever followed.
But did you like watching your grandfather's films?
Oh yeah.
I mean, from the
Yes,
outside,
yes.
especially when he's
Oo,
like yeah.
Of course,
Diba, you're
from
like,
yung sa mga memorable moves to the memorable lines. Of
yeah.
course, the ever memorable voice, 'di ba? Even without seeing his face, if you just hear his voice, you know that it's him already. Alam niyo agad na si Eddie Garcia na yung nagsasalita. Similar to James Earl James Earl Jones, 'di ba, na magsalita lang, alam mo na agad na siya with his deep voice. You know it's him.
Well, putting now something that really means a lot for the industry, the approval of the Eddie Garcia bill by the House of Representatives from a family member. How has this affected you, Miss Elaine?
Of course, it's for us it's a passion project, so to speak. I think it's a very welcome development for everyone in the industry. Really thanks to Congressman Mikey. Mikey really was the driving force to make sure this bill goes through. So we're really all thankful for him and for, of course, the support of the other members of the industry in making sure that this passes. Lahat kasi na syempre makikinabang. It's also for the benefit of everyone in the industry.
Thank you for that, Miss Elaine. And now to give a word, I hope you've been. Yes, Miss Gina.
Yeah, yung sinabi niya yun, tama yun kasi mapapanatag ng kalooban namin mga gumaganap, kami mga artista, maganda yung sinabi mo.
Sa production also. Oo, pati sa production po. Lahat tayo sa industriya. Opo.
Yes,
so,
correct.
Ito na nga. To wrap things up, yun nga, one word, kumbaga, how do you put greatness in one word, di ba? Pero I'll ask it one by one. Thank you. First from Miss Elaine. Now I'm gonna start with Miss Elaine. In one word, especially for you, there's the family part. But now, as a cinema icon, in one word, what would it be for Eddie Garcia? Elaine?
I think for me, I look at him as love. Because love, because it's his love for family, his love for the industry, his love for his fellow actors, his love for the technical people, for the production crew, and nakikita naman nating lahat di ba? Yung talagang pagmamahal niya sa lahat, and I think this bill clearly demonstrates, of course, masakit lang nga, no, but it clearly demonstrates his love for everyone in the industry.
Thank you for Miss Elaine. Miss Gina, isang salita po. Encapsulate the legacy of Eddie Garcia. Ano po para sa inyo yung salita?
Humble. Sobrang humble siya. Hindi mo sasabihin artista siya, performa. Basta simpleng tao lang siya. Super humble si Eddie Garcia.
Sana lahat matuto dyan. Lahat ng artista. Thank you, Ma'am Gina. Christopher, for you, a word with a powerful legacy.
Well, the Filipino loves Eddie Garcia, Manoy. He has entertained them well. He's a very good actor. He's a man's man. We love him.
Thank you. Ang hirap, no? Ang hirap po. And of course, Direk June. One word.
You know, si Tito Eddie was a huge star pero ang lagi talagang nagre-resonate sa akin is the word gentleman. And you know, this bill is proof of that. Laging iniisip niya ang kapakanan hindi lang ng mga kapwa niya artista ng malalaking tao, kundi lahat hanggang sa malaliit na tao.
Gentleman. Beautiful words. Again, for
alam mo, Direk, lalong-lalo sa akin, mararamdaman mo yung respeto ng isang lalaki sa isang babae. Yun ang Eddie Garcia.
Kaya nga gentleman po, di ba? Humble, love. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Again, through Little Cuentos, hindi lang sila cinema icon. Ang gagaling po nila. Great, great people. Great men. Thank you. Thank you again, Miss Gina, Sir Christopher, Direct June, and of course, Miss Elaine. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for sharing.
Thank you.
I believe at this point,
Good night.
bye. Good night, good night. I believe at
Good
this point we will now be
Thank you, Tab.
presenting the Cine Sandaan Icon Awards for our beloved legends. Where true honor is due, we give respect, our devotion, and our words of tribute to these artists who are exemplars of their profession and have shown us wondrous worlds in the cinema screen with their unforgettable works. On behalf of the film industry that embraces them and in celebration of the centennial year of Philippine cinema, we are now bestowing the Film Development Council of the Philippines would like to bestow the following artists the title of Cine Sandaan Icon. And again, we hope that through these 3-part series special events, we made you love, remember, keep them alive, really. Keep them alive in your lives. Because not only should they be cemented in film, in our own memories and our actions in our lives. So we hereby award the Cine Sandaan Icon, this first one, to Dolphy.
Here, guys. On behalf of my family,
the award.
Thank you for this award, FDCP, to Miss Lisa Rino, and to all the staff of FDCP. Thank you so much for this award, for recognizing my father's, what's the word, greatness? But for what he has given the Filipino people in the craft, no? How he stayed true to the craft. Thank you for recognizing that, and on behalf of my family, I accept this award for him. Thank you. Guys, is still there?
Yes, Epi. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. And love to Dolphy. Great.
Cheers.
Man. Cheers, Epi.
Bye-bye.
And now, bye. And now, we award the Cine Sandaan Icon Trophy to Eddie Garcia. And I believe this one will be received by Mr. Christopher De Leon. We certainly hope, like I said, don't just keep them on screens. Keep reliving, watching their movies, and whatever messages or lessons that they portrayed on screen, they live within you. Ladies and gentlemen, here is our second cinema icon for the night. Once again, we award the Cine Sandaan Icon Trophy to Eddie Garcia. Sorry, Christopher, once again, your microphone. Microphone, please. Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, in behalf of our very good friend, I think the best actor in the Philippines, we would like to, where's the trophy? And we accept this award for Eddie Garcia, Eddie Manoy Garcia, who has been a inspiration to all of us as the actor of Philippine cinema and television. Salute to you, Eddie Garcia, and we'll see you there.
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful message. Thank you. Good night, Christopher. Eddie Garcia and Dolphy, two of our exemplary eternal icons of Philippine cinema. We are fortunate to have been witnesses to the illustrious screen life of these kings, and their light will always shine in our movie screens for as long as we have their legacy of films with us to watch and appreciate. With that, thank you very much for joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Isa Litton. Thank you for joining me in honoring our eternal icons. Good evening.